Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Coach Carrie and I am a certified life coach and a wellness and mindfulness coach. And in today's video, I'm getting ready to set up my September calendar. So let's jump into the planner and setup while I talk you through some of my tactics or, for you to visualize like what to do if you're struggling to set up your monthly planner. Now, with the monthly planner, I find everything, like majority of the items stay, consistent. Your bills are consistent. They're going to always be, repetitive, recurring, and so forth. And I feel like this is where you can really, just play with the look, play with the aesthetics and stuff like that. So since September is fall, late September is going to be fall, I thought I would pick out the Caliber Plan jewel tone boxes and a fall sticker book so that I can kind of use that to help me guided set up things as far as the things that I usually put in my monthly calendar. So for my monthly calendar, I like to organize my bills by 3 categories. So basically think of it that way, 3 categories. We have house bills, we have expenses, and then, we have subscriptions. And if you want to add a 4th in there, you can, do things like your payday, which is your revenue or your income that you're bringing in. You can actually record it in here. So I decided to take these stickers and kind of play with them as far as where I would put specific colors. So specific colors mean something to me. For instance, I want the house bills to be recognizable. So, the due dates and all that stuff. I usually try to get all my house bills done the beginning of the month and get those out the way. But here I'm actually putting down stickers for my subscription. So on the 10th of every month, I have Audible. I do love to read, and also I love to listen to Audible books because while I'm working, I can listen to a book, and sometimes they're 10 hours and I can get my workday done and still get a book in when I listen to it. Then we have like some other things. So Audible is automated, so I'm definitely gonna also add auto in those sections, and I will go in depth in just kind of do a walkthrough of the actual setup. But I think these are ideas of to keep you on track is mark the repetitive stuff constantly, and you can go ahead and pre-planned throughout the whole year because that those bills are going to come out the same time. Unless you cancel a subscription and you're no longer doing that, then that's fine. You can say, well, I'm going to cancel this subscription in December. I don't want it anymore for this year, so I won't do it anymore for the following year. So you can cancel that subscription. You won't have to record it. That's also budgeting because it's allowing you to save money from that subscription. I tend to make sure that I can gather there. On the 7th, I have Sirius XM. Sirius XM is in my car, and I used to use it a lot during the workday when I was heading into the office, but now I work from home. I only use it when I'm out in my car, like running errands and stuff. So I didn't feel the need to purchase a subscription for like $50 or whatever outrageous prices that they charge. So I just wrote back to them and said, hey, I don't utilize it anymore. I still want it, but is there a discount? And they gave me it for, I believe, 6 months or a year for like $7.99. So I jumped on that opportunity. So that's where I cut costs. So when I do my monthlies, I try to actually think about some of those bills that I'm putting on here. It's like, okay, do I want to cut costs? Where do I want to cut costs? And like the Sirius XM, I cut costs. It went from $20 to $7.99. So now when I do move off of this planner and I get ready to do my budget, I can see that in August, I had a higher, subscription total than I did in September because I adjusted that as well. Um, I have Kindle Unlimited. What I did was, and this is a tip that some people may not know, if you're good with money management, take all of your subscriptions and anything that's like an auto pay recurrent and push them to your credit cards. That way you're using your credit cards and you're building, your credit score is going up. You're also utilizing that credit that you have versus that cash in your bank account that's going to go out and it doesn't benefit you. So what I did was about maybe 5 or 6 months ago, I went and did like not monthly, but like a quarterly check-in with my finances. And so I took everything that was on subscription and I literally went in and see, okay, where were they coming out of, what accounts they were coming out of. And when I realized that majority of it was coming out of like my savings account, I decided that, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to push this to my big credit card. That way, that's recurring. It comes out. I don't ever have to worry about it because, once a credit card bill comes in, then I can pay it off and I don't have to worry about it. But it actually worked for me. It gave me good credit score, my credit history of paying on time. It's a really great. It's like I think it's like 93% of on-time payments. And I do look at that. I try to do a budget check-in, a financial check-in every quarter just to see where I'm at financially. And because September is like right here and it's the end of a quarter, I felt like this was the perfect month to actually take stock in what my finances look like so that I can, see what I want to do for the end of the year and then kind of plan out what I want to do for the first quarter of 2025. And so with this, I'm getting ready to make sure that I have like some bills due that I know that I have to actually manually pay those, right? They're not on auto pay. There's some bills that wouldn't accept credit card payment. They only want like your check-in account or whatever. And so these are the ones in the orange stickers that just says bill due. So I will put those there and I know like I have to go into a website and manually pay those via my checking account. And so my goal is to not have anything going into my checking account. No one goes into my checking account to pull out money that they don't need to pull out. My credit cards, I'm going to let them work for me. I was watching a podcast clip that popped up and one of the rich guys was saying that he doesn't spend any cash out of his account. He puts all his money in his bank account and he uses his credit card. He pays the credit card off and then that's it, and it works for him. And so I wanted to adapt to that, and so that's what led me to like really do a restock of, an inventory of certain things, because I do love the luxury of the subscriptions. I have Kindle Unlimited, Hulu, Netflix, Prime. What's the other one? I have Peacock. I have HBO. I have, things for my business, like the website I use to book appointments for clients, HoneyBook, and all of those, Google domain for my my domain and my blog and everything. And I was like, those are recurring. They're the same every month. They don't change. So why not put them in one place that, it can be billed, it can be processed, and I won't have to look at them ever again. Oh, I was, while I was filming this that day, I had to change my Freestyle Libre sensor. And so that's what you guys see there. I didn't even take it out of the clip because, that's going to prompt me to actually put a note there that in 2 weeks from that date, I need to change my sensor. I do have reminders in my cell phone as well as in other parts of my planners to change my sensor out. But yeah, that you're just seeing me doing a new sensor and whatnot. So yeah, but back to planning my monthly. So September ends Q3, and in Q3, I feel like this is the time now for you guys to, really assess your finances, hone back, because, the seasons are going to change. We're going to get fall. We're going to do some fall shopping. So it's time to like budget. Do you want to see how much money you want to spend in the fall season, the winter season? Or maybe you don't want to spend any money. And so, you just decide, hey, I'm not going to do this in there, but I'm going to budget. I'm going to put all my bills, calculate all the amounts of my bills for the month, the recurring bills, and put them there and make sure that those are covered. And anything after that, you can sit down and say, hey, you know what? Let me see where I want to, utilize that funds that's out there. Some of us don't have disposable income like others, and it's okay. Don't beat yourself up if you don't. You're not in that category. But I think when you do financial check-ins every quarter, this allows you to see where your expenses are coming from, where your debt is coming from, and then it allows you to work on areas that you want to improve. And so, for me, having a home, I've always decided that a budget is necessary. Some days, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I don't stick to budget, but I've allowed myself to treat myself and not only just pay bills, right? So by me doing a monthly planner and seeing like where all my bills are going, where all my money's going, I can look at it and be like, okay, yeah, now I feel like all my needs are met and taken care of. Now I can go ahead and play with the wants, right? Like, each month I give myself a budget, a clothing budget, a expense budget, as far as like, I like to read books, so I'm going to buy books, or I would buy paper stuff, like my arts and crafts and that kind of thing. So I give myself a budget each month so that I know that I could spend that. Some people, you could start with $20 a month, you could start with $50, but for me, because based off of my finances, I am allowed to push myself up to a specific amount higher than $100. And so I like to know that, okay, if I budget every month to spend $500 on myself, whatever I want to do with that $500, don't get me wrong, I don't always spend $500 every month. I just budget for that. What I don't use go back into the budget, right? I can put it back into the bills, and I can do something else with that money. So yeah, I don't I don't always spend $500 a month. Sometimes I could spend like maybe $200, or maybe there were months go by and I didn't buy anything new for myself, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't spend any money these past couple of months. So you know what? Next couple months going forward, I'll take that same budget money and then just go buy something I could splurge, or just keep up with it. Sometimes you don't have to overdo it. You just it's all about your mindset and how you shift your mindset and your thinking. And so your thinking should always be, even though I budgeted $500, it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to spend $500. Just buy the things that you want and need, and that's it. And you will see that at the end of the year, when you go back and you give your yearly overview and your yearly budget and your yearly check-in, you'll realize that you have money left over, probably sometimes more, and then you can put that into your savings account so that next year you can plan again and just keep saving. And I think regardless of how your finances look, whether you are working an hourly job, you're working less than six figures or whatnot, I think everybody in each financial category should have some sort of a budget to help them define that relationship with finances, because a lot of people do not have a great relationship with their finances. And with that being said, it's hard for them to understand, like, oh, wow, where is all my money going? I'm always broke. I don't have this. I can't afford this. But I think that no matter what category of finances you're in, whatever your income bracket is, definitely have a budget, because you will see that you can start to save money when you begin to have a budget. If your goal is to save money for the new year, I suggest you start with a budget. If you guys want me to walk through a budget with you guys, I can do that for you. And I could do it at different categories. We could start at 45,000 a year if you're making 45,000 a year, and we can put some numbers together so that I can show you how to save. You can start as small as, hey, I want to save $1,000 every year, and then, hey, once I get more money, I get a raise, maybe I want to push it up to save another $200 and so forth, until I get to the point where I can easily save about $5,000 to $10,000 a year. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments, and I can do a budget and finance video for you guys and kind of lay it out on paper so you guys can see what, how I budget and what it looks like. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.